talk to you a little bit about sewing machines. So just remove my spool. And I click this here on my machine. That comes out like that. Now I'm just going to take this plate off. I'm going to remove my foot out of the way, get rid of that thread, and then I've got this little screwdriver which is, it comes with the machine, and this is to take this front piece of the plate off. So I'm going to unscrew both of those and then I'll come back. So from experience I would say just to have a little pot or something that you can place your screws in, because it's such a pain if they roll off the table. So I would keep them all together. You can open up your machine and drop any pieces in like that and secure it. Right, this piece then lifts off. Yours will probably be slightly different. Now I don't know if you can see in the machine here, let's bring the camera down so you're nice and close. I don't know if you can see all the dust. Now all that dust is coming off of the fabric that you've been working with. And what you need to do with your machine, you should have got a little brush. Now I had one, but I've had mine for so many years that along the years, I think once when we moved, it got lost. So what I do is just take a paintbrush. You can take any type of brush, a nice clean paintbrush. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to clean out all of this dust which is inside my machine, like that. There. And now this piece here, this black piece, it just lifts out like so. And I don't know if you can see, but there's loads of dust which get all down in and around here. Can you see that? Right, we need to make sure that that comes out, and probably if you're going to be using it a lot, your machine, probably about once a week, you'll need to take it apart just like that and clean out all those pieces. Alright, and then you can clean your brush afterwards. Get any bits which are stuck down in there, right? Like that. And then probably if you're going to be using it a lot, once a month or so, you'll want to take the bottom of your machine off, and you'll want to clean out any bits of fluff which is in the bottom of your machine, and then you'll want to go over and any pieces which any of your moving pieces parts down in there. What you'll need to do is take your sewing machine oil. Now this one I just got from eBay, and I think it was about £5 or £6, but usually your sewing machine will come with some oil with it, so you can just use that to clean that out. But just take your time. Can you see all the amount of dust which is coming out of my sewing machine? And I've only done that a few days ago. It just builds up basically in there. Okay, so just go around and get all the dust out, and then if you want to put any oil into any of the bits, you can do. I wouldn't put any oil anywhere where it's going to touch the thread, because you don't want any threads getting covered in oil. But you can put the stuff inside the machine itself in any of the moving parts. Okay, you can also remove this front plate on this one, but if you have a look at your manufacturer's guide, it will tell you where you should put your oil and how often it should be cleaned. If you're only using your sewing machine once a month, then probably you'll only need to clean it every 6 months or so. So, you know, just be aware though that it does get clogged up, and that might be one of the reasons why your machine is starting not to work as it should do. Okay, so there we go. So that's all done now. I'm going to place my metal piece back on. Take my screws out and screw them in and make sure they're nice and tight, and then replace my bobbin in there. I'll just show you how to do the bobbin. I'll put the other screw in a second and I'll make sure that's tight. Just wanted to show you, on mine you might have a front loader, but on this one your bobbin goes in like that, and then you take that thread, and can you see there's a little line just in there? You need to push that over that line there, so it's coming in down like that and over under that line like that, and then it'll come out and sit at the back like that. Then let's just put my other screw in. You need to make sure that when you put this on that you tighten it up nicely Okay. Sorry about my fingernails. You can see now there's more bits of varnish coming off. I've been scrubbing at them with a scrubbing brush for about 10 minutes and they're trying to get all that varnish. I was varnishing some polymer clay. So then tighten these up nice, so it's nice and tight. Okay, don't over tighten it because you don't want to damage those screw heads. You can sort of, I press mine down with my finger and then use the little tool just to tighten that up. And you should have a little tool because you can't really get a screwdriver in here because of the room there. So just tighten that up. There we go. I'm just going to refred my sewing machine. Okay, thread your sewing machine as it says in your manual. If you can't get a manual, if your machine comes and it doesn't have a manual, you can download your most of the manuals for most sewing machines online and just thread it. Now I find it really easy if my needle is in the utmost position and then your hands sit there and it seems to be just at the right angle for it to go in. Okay, and I'm just going to place my foot back on. Alright, so I'm going to put my foot on underneath there, drop the piece at the back down, and that will hold on to my foot. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my handle here, this one, and I'm just going to turn it. And as I turn it, you'll see my needle will go down into the bottom of the sewing machine there, and a piece of cotton will come across. I don't know if you can see that, and you can pull up your thread from underneath like that. Okay, now I had another sewing machine which just would not do it unless you actually pushed your foot down to get that to come up, that thing. So you know, it'll be whatever it is with your actual sewing machine. So I'm going to put my little key screwdriver thing back in there, and then I'm going to place on my plastic lid. Now this helps because obviously you saw how much fluff we got down there. You can imagine all sorts of things could go in there if we didn't do that. So that's just one way I clean out my sewing machine.